Every story has an ending. Does our quest to play the top 100 courses in 10 years have a good ending? I'm Nish.
And I'm Chris.
I'm Jim.
And we're your hosts guiding you through this golfing journey. This is the Top 100 in 10 Golf Podcast. This is the story of the follow-up, the second course we played. Our first time was so good, so how do you follow it up? Some of the best performers and acts in the world have struggled with the next one. How would our second course of 100 go? I'm going to hand over to JTC to guide us through it all, because I'll let you into a bit of a secret. On the drive home, we sat and made some notes, and we made a lot of notes. So we do need somebody to expertly navigate us through all of those points. So I couldn't think of anybody better to do that than you, JTC.
Oh dear.
So over to you. Do your worst.
All my best, even. So Moortown, number 2 of the top 100, over north of Leeds.
Yep, that's right.
And we did discuss last time around how Moortown became number 2, and that was the link between the Club Pro at Reddish Vale.
That's right, yeah.
And Moortown, and so made those introductions, and you got to meet the pro, Eddie.
It was Eddie, yeah, he was the assistant.
He was the assistant pro,
wasn't he,
yeah,
Eddie? Yeah.
Really nice guy.
Really nice chap.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, better than that Mackenzie chap. But he was a very nice guy, and we ended up spending quite a lot of time talking to him, didn't we?
Yeah, had a good sort of 10-15 minute chat with him, didn't we, before we
gave us some good tips on how to carry on with the challenge. But yeah, it was really nice welcome. It was a that's always pleasant, isn't it? You turn up and you don't feel like you're not necessarily that welcome as a visitor. Sometimes you're a bit in the way, aren't you? But it was great.
Yeah, it was really friendly invite, wasn't it, into the
yeah,
club,
it was fantastic.
Kind of told us about the range and the club and a bit on the course as well, didn't he?
The range, Chris, the range.
Because this was a pretty long golf course by.
It was.
6,500
yards.
Yeah.
Long
I'm not sure
thing.
it felt like that on the day, but yeah, certainly on the card it was a fairly long track. But
we'd been obviously less than impressed with what we were gonna get as a favour from turning up and knowing Andrew at Reddish Vale. So he sort of said, well, you've got a bit of time and you can go and use the range. And I think we both sort of went, all right, how much is a bucket of balls going to cost us here? It was free. They were just golf balls there to use. Just go and hit them. And we were just both kind of a bit taken back by that. We were like, okay.
In Yorkshire.
In Yorkshire. Yeah. And it was just like, okay, this probably has a little bit of value. So that was quite good. I was toilet on the range, but it was good to get that little surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was lovely. Not something I've ever experienced before. So
no,
nice little added bonus.
And so, what were your expectations? Obviously, you had a fairly long drive over, an hour and a half or something. You know, lots of time to digest as you've obviously read up on what Moortown's about, the history. How long the course is. Obviously, the challenge that I set you last time in regards to Gibraltar, which we'll talk about later.
We will. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I think you might need to be a referee, Jim. Might need to be a referee, but we'll see.
There's no need for a referee.
Is it that clear cut?
It's pretty clear cut.
Fair enough, right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, driving over, chatting about all things golf as you do, because that's what you're there for, but yeah, I mean, we're talking about all sorts, weren't we? And there's like video techniques and like who you watch and all this sort of stuff. But I was like, which will become apparent why I'll bring this up now. A bit later, it'll become apparent. But I said my expectation or my objective, I'd be happy to shoot over 100 if I can just keep the same ball the whole way round. That was what I said in the car. So I'll let you know. I'll get on with that later on.
Okay.
I've not done that for a while, so I was like, right, okay, this will be a good little mini challenge. But yeah, I think again we were sort of like just going please hold out, weather, please hold out.
Yeah, which you did.
Which it did.
Another nice day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He seemed to be quite lucky. I was slightly concerned. I was walking up Pendle Hill, just the other side of the West Pennines, and it was absolutely tipping it down there. And I was thinking, how's it going over on in Yorkshire?
Over the other side. Yeah, over the wrong side. Yeah, that's it. No, it was great. And actually, the club was stunning, wasn't it? The clubhouse was really nice.
Beautiful setup, wasn't it?
Yeah, I took quite a lot of pictures. I'm not sure I was so strictly allowed to do that because I had my phone out a lot, but they were very kind. The guys in the bar, they let us eat in, I think they call it the Ryder Cup Lounge or something like Ryder Lounge or something like that. Yeah. That's the really nice pre-dinner room, beautifully decked out, and you're overlooking the 18th. And I think Chris said that there is a little fact on their website about how in one of the matches or an open,
I think it was the English amateur, I think.
Yeah.
A guy hit his ball through the window into the snooker room and had to then go and play his next shot from the snooker room there back out onto the green.
So we're just like, actually, you can see that now, like how that could happen.
I mean, it's right next to it, isn't it? It's so close. Like there's
really close.
A metre or two between the kind of the edge of the clubhouse and the green, so it's pretty close. A bit too close for comfort.
Yeah, hairy, I think. Like, why would you put windows just right there at the back of the green? It makes no sense, does it? But
I think set out with a bit of trepidation about what was to come coming up the 18th. I think.
Yeah. It was like the locker room was just like, that was amazing. Like, went in there and they're proper old. Like, you could tell they're 120-year-old lockers. Like, so all the old original wood. They've got one of those old-fashioned weighing scales in there where it says like you got to put 2 shillings or whatever in it to get your weight working and all that. I didn't do it, obviously. I don't need to depress myself any further, but
everyone's got their little name on the little golden plates on the lockers.
And it's obviously it's been like, you can tell the really old timers because the name is the plate is battered and a bit old, and it was just a beautiful place. And I think they're having a dinner on, weren't they, that night? So people had their suit hangers, all carriers, all hung up, and it was just like, it was a pucker clubhouse, and then we got pictures of the Ryder Cup. That was great.
I saw that on Insta.
Yeah. That's nice to him. I like that. Just a little plug for the Insta. We do have an Instagram feed. Jim is right. Yeah.
Top 100 in 10.
Yeah. At top 100.
You sacked as our social media manager.
Oh no. But also it was cheap, wasn't it? It really wasn't expensive.
Yeah. I mean, like, food and drink was really cheap, wasn't it? It was Yorkshire cheap.
I don't know if you know, but both courses so far you've had a club sandwich.
Have I? Interesting.
I wonder if this is becoming a thing now. You should rate the club
sandwich.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just some sort of really poor mental link that goes, I'm in a clubhouse, I should have a club sandwich.
Got to have a club sandwich.
Maybe that's it. I'd not noticed that now.
So which is the best out of Moortown and
He doesn't remember getting it in Silla.
I don't remember getting it in Silla, but the Moortown club sandwich was excellent. It's fair to say it was delicious.
Mate, they had logo paper wrapping up the chips, and they had logo napkins and everything. I was like, they've just done everything really, really well. Sort of celebrating the history of their club, and yeah, I was dead surprised how cheap it was. It really wasn't expensive at all to eat and drink in there.
When did he actually play the Ryder Cup there?
1929. So that's the first one on British soil. Yeah. And then the course itself was stunning, wasn't it?
It was absolutely beautiful. I think afterwards I said to you, Nish, I think I've fallen in love with golf again.
Yeah.
After that round, it was absolutely stunning. It was just such a beautiful place to play golf, wasn't it?
He said, bearing in mind where we played first, he said, I think this might be better than Sillith, he said. Yeah. Which is his favourite golf course.
Yeah, I think because I'd not played there as well before, it was just, and I wasn't really sure what to expect.
Yeah.
I don't think I had hugely high expectations. I thought it's number 98, 99 on the list.
Yeah.
I thought it's Parkland. So I didn't have huge expectations of what it was going to be. So I think that's probably part of it. And it got there, and I was like, wow! I kind of fell in love after sort of 4 or 5 holes. It was
I think they did everything. If there's a visitor, you go in there and you're like, I'm spending in the summertime, nearly £200 to play, I think you walk away from that and you go, I've really got my money's worth there because of the welcome that you got, the facilities in there. You know, we could use the locker room and you know, we had a drink afterwards, and it was just going dark, and it was like a really nice cozy, like kind of leather seat kind of lounge where you sat and just overlooking the green, the 18th green, and it was like, this is a nice place to have a fresh orange and lemonade. That's all we had, but you know,
you had a G&T.
I had a G&T, yeah. I was
standard.
Chris was like, I really, really, really want a glass of red wine.
Yeah.
Like, I won't tell anybody if you won't, but whatever. You know, it was a great day of golf. Unexpected, like I said, unexpected, because suppose we booked it and then it was like, I don't really know much about it.
Yeah.
Aside from the obvious facts that we brought out, but yeah, really good. And you don't know the course, and actually they don't make that much of the course. They keep going on about Gibraltar, but like, they don't talk about the rest of the course. And the rest of the course, it was great.
So what was Eddie's advice to you when you spoke to him about the actual course?
Did he give us any course advice?
I don't think he did, but he gave us advice about doing our top 100. So we talked to him quite a bit about doing the top 100, didn't he? And he did mention a few ways and means of potentially getting onto some of the courses. So he mentioned there's kind of WhatsApp groups, didn't he?
Yeah.
Potentially to get into some of these places. He mentioned doing competitions. What else did he mention? I think there was some other means, wasn't there?
I think he said that there are reciprocal groups on like Facebook and things like that where you can get on and you can. I'm sorry, I'm digging out our scorecard here. Where you can basically say, look, I'm a member at this club and I can host. Somebody else can host me, and you can potentially get lucky with, if you catch it at the right time, you know, in the right place. So that was quite nice. He was really, really helpful. I mean, he still wasn't for knocking any money off our round, was he? But he's a really good face of the club, you know, to get in. And then free range balls. It was great.
Free range balls.
That was a nice little perk, wasn't it?
Worth 120 quid alone.
Yeah. I mean, the practice green didn't really prepare us for the actual greens. It was round and flat. There is not a flat surface on that and the putting at Moortown.
I was going to come on to the actual golf now, because I think it's about time to discuss how the round went.
Few little highlights. I mean, again, I've not really scored very well, Jim, but few little highlights where I got a birdie.
Excellent. Did you do the dance?
I did the dance.
You did the dance. Excellent.
I did a dance. I did a
be
little
forfeits
fist
if you
pump. It was a full-on, like, it was on a par 4 as well. So that's a bit harder. Well, I think it's the hardest, isn't it, really, to birdie? But then, yeah, it was like the perfect hole. So it was like a 260-yard drive, and then approach shot with just a pitching wedge, gap wedge it was, and it landed to within about 4 or 5 feet, I think, and then just drained the putt. I was like, I can actually golf. This is great. I mean, around that I got 2 6s, but you know, we'll forget about that for a minute.
Yeah, we don't bother about that.
Yeah. It was for me. It was like, well, not for me. I suppose it's the perfect hole. You know, really good long drive, great approach shot, knocked the putt in. You know, and that was it.
Particularly hilly course?
No, not really. No, it was kind of. It was undulating, wasn't it? It was kind of rolling hills, but yeah, nothing too severe. So it was nice, wasn't it? It was nice optics.
Very optic. It was beautiful on the eye.
Yeah,
that course.
It was.
And there was a lot of places that you could see practically the whole golf course, and so you could see a few people around. You're not used to that, actually. A lot of times you go, particularly in links, you're on your own almost. You can't. It's almost, maybe that's deliberate. You know, you see your battle with golf, but. Yeah, you could see everybody, and it was like, okay, I could see the whole. But that wasn't a bad thing. It was a really, really good thing. Like, you could just see everything. It's great. Yeah, like you're right. Visually, it was a really nice golf course.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I don't think there were any holes that I came off and thought that was a bit dull. Like, there was always something kind of interesting, wasn't there, on every hole? I think.
How was Gorse Watch for you?
Gorse Watch was pretty poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bit of heather, but
Par for the Gorse. I'm going with par for the Gorse.
Of course you will.
Gorse watch. Do you want me to go through the scorecard?
Yeah, I think it's about
Sure.
time we
You think?
need to
Why
get
not?
to it now. Yeah. Well, maybe not go through the scorecard.
We
I
won't
think
go
the
through it in
final
detail,
the final
but
scores and the doors.
The
is
final
pretty
scores. Okay, so Chris did very well actually, and this is again. I'll let him explain about the putting in a minute. And remember, I said about there's a thing on Rick Shields' video that was like, I'm not going to tell you this because it's going to get into your head. And the thing was, he said the putting at this golf course is really difficult, and there's never a place where the hole was on a flat. There was lots of undulation. Mackenzie course, lots of Mackenzie greens which are tiered. So if you get it a bit wrong, you could be miles away. And I think I don't have amazing putting, but I'm pretty consistent with my putting. I four putted a couple of times, which was like I was distraught about, and I don't do that. Like 3 putt is like I'm kicking myself. So it's one bit of my game that's relatively consistent. And I walked off. I was like, that wasn't great. So I think Chris probably Chris did some analysis of his round.
I did do some analysis. It was so, like I said, I hit the ball fairly well, so I was like, actually, it's fairly encouraging signs. I'm hitting the ball okay, but just around the greens, I just couldn't get it at all, could I? So yeah, it was that bad that on Monday morning, I got to work and I was like, right, I need to figure out what happened here. So I did a little spreadsheet when I got into work just to see how bad my golf was.
Chris is an accountant, by the way.
Yeah. So I took 57 chips and putts.
And that's in a total score of 94.
94. Oh.
So 94,
which is good. That's good shooting on an unknown course. But yeah,
of which nearly 60 shots were
so 2/3
were on the greens.
All right, in and around the greens.
So that's way too much.
Yeah. I mean, what's that leaving you then? Quick maths. What's it? 94 minus 57 is what?
37.
37. So you're taking 2 shots to reach around the green in each hole, which is what you would do.
Yeah.
I mean, that includes your par 5s as well. That's Oh dear.
So yeah, I think
yeah.
Better than Sillith, though.
Much better than Sillith. Yeah.
And shows that there's the opportunity there to actually hit a pretty low score at some point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If I can
Yeah.
sort my chipping and putting out, then I've still got the ability to shoot some scores.
I mean, you took 16 shots off, so next time you'll be shooting a 72.
Yeah, I mean, I can take 20. I should be taking 20 shots off that fairly.
You could take 20 shots off that.
Around that.
I mean, that's putting you into almost level par territory, isn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty amazing.
And the par was
71.
71.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris got 94. I got 100 dead on. So remember I said about I'll take a score over 100. I got 100. It's 101 at Sillith, so I'm trending downwards. So by the 100th course, I should be like doing it in 2 shots. Should be great.
Not going to happen, I'll say.
100. And so it's like, okay, careful what you wish for sometimes on the drive over. So I think next time I'm going to maybe speak a bit more positively about what I want from the round.
I did play the whole round with 1 ball, just FYI.
And take it you didn't miss?
I nearly did.
Nearly.
I nearly did. So the location of Moortown is stunning. It's incredibly moneyed. There's mansions everywhere. And also, I don't know what it is, but there's got Reddish Vale, like I say, it's right next to a housing estate. This is right next to all these mansions. So there's lots of fairways and stuff where the houses are flanking the side. I made it to the 18th tee with the same ball. And then I drove it into a mansion. So I won't put the date that we played, just in case they want to try and track me down and hunt me down for compensation. But, if you live next to a golf course, you've got to expect somebody like me turning up and whacking one into your house at some point.
They might recognise you if you use one of the balls with your face imprinted on it.
It
Like you go for your birthday. Is that
for
your birthday round?
Yeah, mansion got it. So I'd let the thought enter into my mind on the 17th tee that I still hadn't lost a golf ball. And I think that was the 17th a par. It was a par 3. We played that really well, didn't we? And we both hit the green.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, that tee shot that hit, I was genuinely had a look of surprise on my face when I hit that, because I think the lead up to it wasn't great. But yeah, and then I thought, okay, that's all right. Just one more left. Nice, easy swing on the 18th, and it's just hooked left. Yeah, and we didn't hear a clatter. but
Always a good sign.
yeah,
And
he's
and
probably gone into somebody's swimming pool.
he didn't
That's
get
probably what it was.
he didn't hit it into the Ryder Cup lounge either. So that's
No, I didn't, because actually my approach shot was, well, I thought it was looked absolute worldy when I hit it. It was like about 80 yards approach into the green, full sand wedge. I went, right, give it full beans, and it seen it soar and it landed. And I think, well, that's really close. That I'm well happy, buzzing about it. Rocked up, and it's still about 20 feet away, and I'm like, oh, actually, there's nowhere near it. And then you've got these undulating greens that you've got to try and negotiate. So still shot a 7 on that hole, but.
Yeah.
But trending downwards, and it was all right. But I think otherwise, I got birdie and 2 pars. I got.
But I think my second into the 18th was a little bit hairy, to be honest. It was heading in that direction. It was.
Oh, was it?
It was a little bit short, but yeah, my heart was definitely in my mouth when I hit that
Eek.
ball. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Snooker cue for the next shot, I think.
Did you think it was like?
Oh yeah, I did think that because it was on a bit of a downhill lie, and I probably had an extra club in my hand. I was just trying to hit it easy.
I mean, that was a beautiful approach as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Like we were getting out. It was just going a bit dark. Actually, just to the 18th, it rained, so we
got away with it.
Got away with it. But like it was all lit up, and it was a beautiful looking approach. But yeah, I think. Yeah, maybe heart in mouth if you just go, oh, I think I've overhit this.
But yeah, that's going right for the window. If that's got an extra 10 yards on it.
Forget the mansion. I don't want to annoy the club, Yeah, it was it was pretty good. And then I've got bananas written down in my notes, but that's because I didn't realise, but Chris does the same thing as me. We take bananas with us on the course to give us a little boost of energy. And every time I thought I've got off the course and played all right, I've always had 2 bananas. So that's like a new superstition now for me.
You think, okay.
Although we also discussed a little bit about leaving bananas in bags, didn't we?
Oh yes.
Which I opened my golf bag yesterday to find said banana sat in my golf bag still.
Oh,
yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, that was eating.
Clean up
That was the
operation
skin, wasn't
required
it?
before
Yeah.
the next outing.
Yeah, that's the only problem with bananas. But
A bit of advice. I did this at school. I left a banana in there for days. Well, actually, probably weeks. Don't spray it with Lynx afterwards. It never gets, the smell never goes.
Lynx Africa and bananas, not a great combination.
Oh
then,
gosh,
Jim.
no. I had to get rid of that school bag. No, actually, I had to use it for the rest of the year. But oh goodness, yeah, what a mistake that was.
yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
Rancid. And obviously the challenge for this particular course that we set last couple of weeks ago was the par 3 Gibraltar.
It was.
Which was an interesting hole. It's just after the halfway hut, which by the way every good golf course should have. I think we should start rating halfway huts. And that was a nice.
Do you know, I had
halfway
exactly
hut,
the same thought this week. We've not spoke about that, but I had the same thought. We should rate the halfway huts.
Yeah. It was nice, wasn't it?
It was a good little halfway hut. Although I realised that, so I was like, I really, really need a wee. So I was like, halfway hut, perfect. Got there, and there's no one manning it, was it? So it was like self-service.
Yeah. Honesty system. Right.
So I kind of stuck my head around the back, and there was a door there. For some reason, I thought that must be the entrance to the kitchen. So I was like, I'll just go for a wee in the woods. And there was a few members just looking at me slightly strangely. And then Nish kind of came around the other side and just walked in through the door into the toilet. I was like,
That's what it was.
That's
the
what it
toilet. Yeah. Good job it wasn't the kitchen.
yeah.
Imagine not having that sausage roll.
Oh.
But yeah. But the lead up to that, to the ninth, sorry, where then the halfway hut is situated off the back of the 9th green. As you're walking up to then what is Gibraltar, from the side profile where that is, that green looks really stunning. It's not as impressive from the tee box though, is it? Like,
it's not. No,
it wasn't like, oh, this is the greatest hole in the world sort of thing. It was like,
yeah. I mean, if I'd have given that Mackenzie chap my entire budget to build that one hole, I think I'd have been a bit disappointed. It was a beautiful hole, don't get me wrong, but I think
they were impressed enough to give him 17 more holes, you know.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't have done a bad job because we both came off and went, that was incredible.
Yeah.
And
Like the course.
And it was beautiful, yeah.
It was. I mean, the course was, it was stunning. So he's done a good job with it, generally. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a picture actually. So there is a picture which we should show you. So this is.
So, do you want the full story about what happened?
I think we should show Jim the picture first.
Okay, right. You adjudicate.
And he can adjudicate which is closest.
I did paste them out. It was very close.
It was very close.
Well, close with an asterisk, and I'll get to the asterisk in a second. But I paced it out, and it was 9 paces for each ball to the hole. However, we have to discuss the technicality of it all.
I mean, it's not really a technicality, is it, Nish?
It's kind of the rules of golf. But it just depends what you meant by when you said closest to the pin. Did you mean off your first tee shot?
Well, there is that. I thought that was the asterisk, in fairness.
So, yeah, my first effort went about 40 yards into the heather in front of us, which I found, so it was fine. I didn't lose the ball. That was great. Stepped up. This is just classic golf, isn't it? It happens to everybody, and everybody's always frustrated by it. You hit your provisional ball, and I absolutely buttoned my 7-iron. Like, it just felt so sweet when I hit it, and it was like, that's tracking for the flag, that is. And then it wasn't like the wind caught it, but lands on the green. I think from where we were, that looked it was closer.
It did look closer, but I think when we
Yeah.
got there,
Yeah.
it was very, very, very close.
It was
They
very
were
close.
pretty much equidistant, I think, weren't
Yeah, I think good word.
they? Oh, big word.
I like that. Yeah.
Uh,
It was.
I read
pretty...
the thesaurus before I came over. I
I
can't say it, but I've read it.
Yeah, but so
I think
There's
it's sticking to the traditions, and I know that you are very traditional when it
I'm
comes
a
to
stickler for
you
tradition,
absolutely
Jim. Me,
stick
you
for,
know. Yeah.
that we have to say, I think in this situation that Chris obviously will be the victor.
Well done, mate. Even though
I mean,
I hit a better tee
You
shot.
you made my life much easier by hitting your first tee shot 20 yards.
It was
Again,
awful.
no
I was like,
pressure
well, yeah, the pressure's off.
There
for me
was
now.
no pressure there at all.
So I hit
Yeah.
a nice little late iron.
It was a terrible first tee shot, that one. Like, pressure was on. And then as soon as it goes off, wallop
Yeah.
straight
To
down.
to be fair though, Nish, so throughout the day, so there's a rule in golf. Whoever won the last hole normally tees off on the next hole, and we were being pretty casual about that all day. It was
Yeah.
like, if you're ready, you just go.
Ready, just go.
We were both ready at that hole, so we just been to the halfway hook. We both stepped on the tee, and Nish said, "Should I go first?" Then I was like, "Yeah, you go first.
Come on, mate.
You go first, Nish. You won the last hole." So I did kind of set you up for failure a little
Go on,
bit,
mate.
didn't I?
Here you go.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, you let me win the last hole. Just right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I was thinking that far ahead, but yeah, I certainly wasn't racing to get up onto the tee ahead of you.
Yeah. So, yeah, 1-0 Chris. On
1-0 Chris.
Side bets, I think.
Yeah.
But it was good. Like, I enjoyed it. And actually, I was kind of expecting to walk up to that tee and just think, because the way it was billed, that it's like going to be this unbelievably daunting tee shot. And it isn't, actually. And I think the whole course is like that. It's not, there wasn't anywhere that you thought, I can't play this, it's too good for me. You could get a score there, couldn't
Yeah,
you?
oh, absolutely. Like I say, I mean, if I'd have been chipping and putting like a normal human, I would have scored
Instead of
reasonably
Rory
well.
McIlroy, you were putting like Rory McIlroy
Yeah.
that day. Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, that was good. It was a good side bet. I enjoyed that.
Excellent. Well, we'll keep tallying up the scores as we move along, and then
I think we shall.
we'll throw in some surprises there as well in terms of
we-
forfeits and whatnot. I'm not going to make you wear stupid things, to fancy dress going around the golf courses, because obviously that's against all traditions. So
Yeah,
but I mean,
real traditionist.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, what were your thoughts post round then?
Chris sent me a message, which I didn't even think about, and I'm a bit gutted now, but we should have done match play because it was a Ryder Cup venue,
Yeah.
and actually it would have gone down to the 18th.
So yeah, so we did a bit of a count back on the card, didn't we? And I would have pipped it on the 18th.
On the
wouldn't I?
18th, yeah. And that would have been the errant drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, missed an opportunity there, I think. But nice to
I'm pretty sure they would have given me the Ryder Cup as well if we'd have.
probably would have done.
If we'd have asked
Should we
nicely.
just get it out of the case for you? And
Yeah,
picture,
just have a little picture on the green.
That's another thing I just wanted to bring up actually. So I've now seen a few pictures of Samuel Ryder
Yeah.
of Ryder Cup fame.
Yeah.
He looked miserable, that man. Never smiled in a picture. Like, cheer up, mate. Cheer up. Like, people taking a picture of you. But if you didn't want a picture taken, don't put your name to the trophy. Just create it and stay in the back. But really, like, his face is everywhere. And you're like, oh,
I mean, people
It's-
people didn't smile in the
Trash.
1920s though, did
Is
they?
it like the done thing?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, and also having been, around Paris with you and Emma, maybe you just had someone trying to take a million photographs of him when he's got
I don't know what you're talking
when
about,
he's got the
Jim.
worst hangover in the world in 30-degree heat.
We got short, sharp shrift, didn't we? There. Can you just have this one last picture on the bridge? No.
You're going
Okay.
you're going into the Seine with your phone.
And then the other thing was, we heard, didn't we, from Chris there that he did 57 shots around the greens. I mean, there's one green. Which one was it now? I'll get it from the scorecard because I think we should just get the number right. It was the. I mean, I think you still scored well on the hole. I think it was like either the 6th or the 7th or something like that.
Yeah, it was around
Seventh.
that then.
That's it, because he didn't parred after that. He recovered well. But Chris, big, long, booming drive. Great approach shot, but went to the right of the green and then chipped over the green backwards and forwards 3 times. Just couldn't get it. Just could not get the technique right.
I mean, we're talking, what, like 5-6 feet off the green? It's not a long shot.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't hit the ball. I just thin it through the green. I was like, oh crap. I'll try again from the other side. Same result. Back to where I was. Try it again. Back to where I'd just come from. It was
That's a normal round for me. But
it was pretty maddening, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I had to get my tin helmet out at one point. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's coming for me. And apparently Chris had practiced his short game the day before. I mean, what kind of practice was going on there?
Worrying, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'll be pleased to know that I've been practicing some more this week. So
Oh, lovely.
might be even worse next time out.
I'll wear like a bulletproof vest or something, so I'm holding the flag. Yeah, so that was that. Again, like I nearly made it with the same ball, so I was happy about that. And then there's a guy behind us playing with a member come over from Australia, and they've just been like he on one of these groups just mentioned, I'm in the Leeds area, I'd like to play Moortown, and member just signed him in, and they had a round together, and he was pretty happy. We probably should have talked to him, really, shouldn't we?
We should have really, and it was a bit of an afterthought for me because I was kind of eavesdropping on their conversation a little bit, and it's obviously quite a little secret club because he was basically the member was saying, please just don't post any pictures of me on the group.
Is that what he said?
Yeah,
I didn't.
and I'd
hear
not
that.
clicked until kind of afterwards, and I think you mentioned it later, Jim, didn't you? That there's
Oh, I don't know if I could mention this.
I don't know.
Is this the underbelly, the
So I
dark
think-
underbelly
so
of
I think
golf?
ultimately-
The secret
I think-
societies.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of stumbled on a bit of a secret society, haven't we?
Yeah. Cult.
yeah, a bit of a cult. Yeah.
Chameleons.
Chameleons. Do you want
If
to
you
explain?
know, you know.
We don't know, Jim.
Well, it's pretty
don't
similar
know.
to what you've already just described. It's a group where you have a member from a club and somebody who's a member of a potentially reciprocal club can play at very, very late notice and take them around.
Right.
But you have to effectively live right next to the golf course because you can get called at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think
That's us, isn't it?
That's the
Right.
new challenge, isn't it? I mean, we can be near St Andrews. We're only what
Near
6.5 hours away.
Near everything. I think we worked that out, didn't we? Like pretty central to everything.
So yes, that's kind of what Eddie had alluded to, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Beforehand, that there are some groups.
Maybe
So I
he
think
was a
that's
chameleon.
Maybe he was.
Should ring him up again, shouldn't I? Really?
He might not be.
Maybe we just need to
Maybe-
sing Boy George at each club we go to, and see if anyone picks up on it.
See that?
Do
that-
you remember?
What?
Oh, yes, please.
Is that somebody singing Culture Club?
Yeah.
It's like you don't have the what do you call it, the flashlight with a bat symbol in the sky, do you? No, it's just no. Anyway,
I'll try and find out some more about the group anyway. But
yeah, okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, but we should have done match play. I think that would have been.
We
nice.
definitely should have done match play. Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's something you're gonna arrange for future venues where
It's a good question, actually.
where the Ryder Cup has been held.
Good
Maybe.
question.
It's nice to have a little thing. When I play casually with a few people, we do obviously keep our score, but we do play match play. It
Yeah.
just sharpens you up a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm always up for match play. I do enjoy match play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we do that every time we play
a
a Ryder
Ryder
Cup?
Cup venue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Ryder Cup venue, we do match
Deal.
play. Deal?
Deal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have awareness of it this time rather than do it.
Yeah.
Because it would have been that would have been amazing.
yeah,
wouldn't it?
yeah,
Going
yeah.
back to the 18th, going, mate, like, we're level.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to win this.
I
now."
mean, I might have smashed mine into the snooker room.
Yeah.
If that was to win.
Can you imagine though, like you'd done the snooker room, I'd have done the mansion. I mean, you're banned from Moortown. You're not coming back. Mackenzie chap's not happy with you. Yeah.
Any final points on Moortown?
Great course. Like, genuinely very happy with that. It's 98th, I think,
Yeah.
on the list. And if that's anything to go by with an unknown course, there's loads of courses I've never heard of. God, we're in for a treat. We really are in for a treat with this challenge, I think, aren't we? Like, that was a right blend of challenge, that golf course.
It was, yeah. I think we were like two kids in a sweet shop on the day, weren't we? Like we were genuinely just giddy.
Yeah.
And like we got off afterwards and we were just like, oh my God, I'm pretty sure that was the best round of golf I've ever played.
Yeah, it was
just
brilliant.
We were
wasn't
both
it?
just buzzing, weren't we? It
Yeah.
was just a great experience, wasn't it?
I mean, I think everybody was expecting to see Instagram posts almost immediately, and they didn't arrive till about 9 o'clock at night. Everyone was messaging going, "Is Nish all right?"
He's in the dungeon of a mansion somewhere in Alwoodley for smashing the orangery window.
Yeah.
How did it go? Did they play? I have no idea. Not heard from them at all. So yeah. People are obviously, they're starting to get involved as well.
I mean, why would you not be interested in this?
Be invested in
It's
the
amazing.
whole thing.
Yeah, it was a full on. We had so many elements at Silith that came right and good on that day that made it amazing, kicking off the challenge, all that kind of thing. This felt like it was like in the middle of the challenge, even though it's not, it's right at the start, but it felt like it was the middle of the challenge, and like what you would maybe term as a more normal round as we're gonna do. But yeah, just to come off that and the course and just go, that was amazing, that was brilliant. Just the right degree of challenge, really interesting, not a boring hole on there at all. Beautiful to look at. It was everything. It was everything your soul needs if you play golf.
It was immaculate condition as well, wasn't it?
It
Like
was.
Everything was just to a T, just beautiful, wasn't
That's
it?
it.
Beautifully manicured.
Yeah.
Just easy on
Branded
the eye.
bins.
Yeah, everything was branded.
Everything's
Yeah,
branded.
loved it.
Even Nish got branded on the way out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what? And
smashing the captain's window on the 18th tee.
And dare I ask, how much
Yeah.
money did you spend on merchandise?
I didn't,
You didn't?
I didn't. I bought my ball marker. I always buy a ball marker at every club I play at, regardless of whether it's this challenge or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of it. I think I, when we got there, I was like, it's a bit chilly. I hadn't brought a long sleeve top with me, and I thought, oh, I think I'll buy one. But then, yeah, I think by the time we got to the second hole, it was like warmed up and it was fine. So saved myself a bit of money, which is really unlike me, if I'm
Very
honest.
much so.
But I hope that's not a sign of things to come. I like my new gear. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Right.
I think that's it, really. I think thanks for your time, gents.
Yeah, nothing more to say, I don't think.
I think I'm really beginning to enjoy these chats. How's it for you? Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good fun.
All right. Fantastic. We got to do that, yes. So yeah, I've got to do my clap. Do the clap at the end. Yes. Okay. Anyway.
I
Yeah,
think
it took me a while to get
I
into
think we
it,
should leave that in.
Oh, 100%.